Welcome to Lunchtime Love Story, your daily dose of uplifting tales created for anyone who loves a good love story. In today's episode, you'll meet Emma Thompson, a young woman who is living a double life. On the outside, she appears content to be a good wife and neighbor. But behind closed doors, Emma is the victim of horrendous abuse. Will she ever escape her pain? Let's find out in Love Can Be Found in Your Own Strength. Emma Thompson grew up, went to school, and then got married in the small town of Willow Creek, where neighbors knew each other's names and the gossip traveled faster than the wind. To the outside world, Emma was a quiet, unassuming housewife, the kind who greeted her neighbors with a warm smile and a casserole in hand, just like her mama and grandma had done for generations before. However, behind closed doors, Emma was living a life marred by the silent screams of an abusive marriage. Her husband, Richard Thompson, was a man who wore charm like a mask, concealing the darkness that dwelled within. Behind the veneer of a successful local businessman, he ruled his home with an iron fist, casting a shadow of fear and control over Emma's every move. The abuse began subtly, a cutting remark here, a belittling comment there. Once confident and full of life, Emma found herself gradually stripped of her self-esteem. Richard's manipulation was insidious, a poison that seeped into her soul until she questioned her every thought and action. As the years passed, the abuse escalated. The bruises hidden beneath long sleeves and concealer became harder to conceal. Emma withdrew from friends and even her closest family, her isolation serving as both a shield and a prison. Yet, a flicker of resilience was buried deep within her, a spark that refused to be extinguished. It was on a rainy Tuesday evening, as the drops tapped a melancholy rhythm on her window pane, that Emma reached a breaking point. The echo of Richard's harsh words reverberated through the house, but this time, something within her snapped. She couldn't endure the pain any longer. The desire for freedom outweighed the fear that had held her captive. In the following weeks, Emma quietly began planning her escape. She squirreled away money, consulted with a discreet lawyer, and sought support from a local women's shelter. The journey to freedom was a labyrinth of fear, doubt, and courage. It required strength she didn't know she possessed, but the glimmer of a life without abuse fueled her determination. The day she served Richard with divorce papers was a watershed moment. It marked the end of a chapter defined by suffering and the beginning of a new one that promised healing and self-discovery. The legal battle was arduous, with Richard using every tactic and connection he had in business to maintain control. However, Emma's newfound strength was a force that could not be interrupted. As the divorce proceedings unfolded, Emma reconnected with the pieces of herself that had long been buried beneath the weight of Richard's oppression. she rediscovered her passions, her dreams, and the friendships she had lost. A network of support emerged: friends, family, and kindred spirits who applauded her courage and rallied around her. Some admitted they knew about the abuse and didn't want to interfere in her life. Others had no idea. But they embraced Emma again and built a wall of support that even Richard's continuing bullying couldn't penetrate. The process to finding independence again was not without setbacks. There were moments when doubt crept in, and the scars of the past threatened to pull Emma back into the abyss. Richard begged and pleaded with her to return to their old life. He promised he'd change. But she knew better now. He would never change. They could never be happy together. Emma's resilience proved unyielding. Therapy became a sanctuary where she learned to untangle the emotional knots that bound her. She embraced the support of those who genuinely cared, realizing she was not alone in her journey to rebuild. She finally began to believe that she didn't deserve the abuse she suffered in her marriage, and that no one should be battered and bruised ever. As the divorce was finalized, Emma stood on the threshold of a new beginning. The house, once a battleground, was totally empty of Richard's presence. It now echoed with the laughter of friends and the warmth of shared stories. The scars on her body healed, leaving behind a roadmap of survival and strength. Emma's metamorphosis was remarkable. She had emerged from the darkness, not as a victim, but as a survivor. With a newfound sense of freedom, Emma immersed herself in a life she had once only dared to dream of. She pursued a career she was passionate about, rekindled old hobbies, and surrounded herself with people who uplifted rather than tore down. Once a place of confinement, Willow Creek became a backdrop for her rebirth. Emma's story spread through the town like wildfire, not as a tale of victimhood, but as a courageous battle by a quiet woman who found the inner strength to end the abuse that kept her battered and bruised for too many years. Those who silently suffered found inspiration in her courage. Others reflected on the need to confront and overcome the demons within. Once divided by gossip, the community rallied together in support of one of their own. Emma's journey was not without challenges. The victories were sweeter because they were earned. She became a beacon of hope for those who felt trapped in the shadows of abuse. A living testament that escape was possible and a fulfilling life awaited on the other side. As she healed, Emma realized that she had not only survived, she had blossomed into a woman who embraced the fullness of her newfound strength. And in doing so, she had become a guiding light for others seeking their path to freedom and love. Thank you for joining us on Lunchtime Love Story. We're so grateful you took the time to enjoy today's episode. Remember, you're always invited to become a part of our community of listeners who love a good love story. Hit subscribe, click like if you enjoyed this video, and ring the notification bell to embark on this wonderful journey with us. Share your own love stories in the comments below. You never know, your story may become an inspiration for us in the future. And here's a secret. You can spread the love even further by supporting us on Ko-Fi.com. Your generous contribution helps keep the stories flowing and the love growing. See you next time on Lunchtime Love Story, where we never ever give up on love.